Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. My name is Sean Hester and we are going to talk about another learning session here. Today we're going to be focused on using stamps for the inspection process. Most specifically about field inspection. This could be field verification, this could be inspecting conditions to make sure they were done per the specifications. A lot of different use cases for doing this. And we're going to run through that today on our new version 5 of Revizto. There's a couple of tools that I'm actually going to be utilizing here that are specific to version 5, which are going to save you some time for searching for this information, navigating to the specific items that you're going to set up for inspection, and then how to navigate with those stamps once we have them placed within the model. So let's go ahead and dive in here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my object tree, and I'm also going to open up my properties window, and I'm also going to open up our find objects. And actually we can leave that off for now. Let's start with the object tree. Now we just installed some windows and I'm getting ready to go out in the field and do some verifications. Make sure waterproofing details were done correctly. Just all out check the progress and make sure things are moving along correctly. What I'm going to do, and there's obviously a couple ways of doing this, but again, I want to highlight some of the tools in Revizto that we've added in version 5. So within our object tree, I'm actually going to do a quick search for windows within the object tree. Okay? We have a couple different window types that pop up. We have some of those selected here right now. Looks like there's 150 different window types within the project. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to isolate my windows. Okay? That's going to give me a nice view to see exactly which windows are out there. Looks like we have some curtain walls associated with that windows as well. These here are the windows that we've actually started to place on the exterior of the building. So these are the ones that I'm going to focus on today. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on one of those windows and our properties window pops open. Now, one of the other learning sessions that we did was actually about creating some favorites to share, to save, the actual properties at the top of our properties window so we can get those quickly and easily. So I definitely suggest checking that out. I'm not going to focus on that today, but again, that is another tool within Revizto that it is worth checking out some of those learning sessions. What I am going to use though is the property condition that we see here for name. This is the name of the windows that I'm actually going to do the inspection process on, right? What we can do within the properties window is actually use this to create a search to save a search set. And this is something I love. You know, I've already clicked on that window. I can scroll through here and take a look at all the different properties that are associated with it. And I can just generate a search directly from my properties. Makes it really quick and easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on our find objects here at the top of that properties window. I'm going to click the create new search. And you can see here that we've actually created a property condition automatically to find all of those windows specifically in our project. And here we can see them all directly in our model in the 3D space in Revizto here. My next step is going to be to save this out as a new search. Okay. And I actually created a folder here already. So we're going to place that in our Windows folder. And we're going to call this our AW11 window type, based upon that name that we have in the properties there. Okay, I click OK, and now we can see that saved here in our search set within that folder. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to gain a little bit more real estate in the 3D space here. So I'm actually going to X out of our properties. I'm going to X out of the object search. And I'm going to X out of our find objects. I am going to leave the window selected though, okay? And the next thing I'm going to open up is our selection inspector. We can see all the windows that we have selected in here, okay? What I'm going to use this for though is I'm going to automatically generate 29 stamps that are associated with these windows automatically, okay? So I'm going to create a multi-stamp. Revizto is actually going to pull open my stamps. And what I've actually done is created a stamp template already with my particular window types. And this is something that is worth thinking about, right? You know, we get asked quite a bit about how to break up or how to organize our stamps. And there's a lot of different ways to do it, obviously. Now, some of the typical ones we get are, you know, breaking up construction type specifications. We have, you know, some design specifics in here as well. Those are ones we see quite a bit. Facilities management, you know, and that could include access zones or other areas of concern with the facilities management team. But the other thing that we're starting to see is actually using this to track certain aspects of the project that we want to go and inspect, right? So that's why we're using this window type here. And I'm going to select this AW11 stamp that I've already created. And you can see Revizto comes up with a confirmation here for me saying, hey, just letting you know, we're going to create 29 stamps. Would you like to proceed? And I do. So we're going to click on Create 29 Stamps. Revizto is going to go through and it's going to generate those stamps. It's going to place the stamp actually in the middle of the geometry. Now, if we go back into 3D, right, we can see that those are still selected. I'm actually going to minimize some of this stuff again. Okay. And why don't we go ahead and click on our issue tracker again? Okay. Now, this is a good time to kind of recap filtering issues within the issue tracker, right? I just hit reset. I know, and you'll see that my stamps are listed here at the top, but in preparation for me going out and doing that inspection, I do want to set up some stamp filters so I can quickly get to those 29 stamps quickly and easily. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're actually going to hit our custom filter. Okay, I'm going to click on my stamp abbreviations. I'm going to look for that AW. Here we have that AW11. And you can see now I'm sorting the information or filtering the information based upon this stamp abbreviation. I can save this out as a filter. You can say window type, type AW11. Okay. I hit create. And now you see that's listed down here at the bottom for me to use, right? I reset my filters, I click that filter, now I'm to those 29 that I already have set up here. And that's important, right? Because that means I don't have to go sifting through these 1,300, trying to find those specific items. I can quickly and easily get to those items and go ahead and do my inspections. And if I want to, I can share this out across the project. We'll toggle that on. I click apply. And now my other team members can also utilize this filter if they need to help out with some of that inspection process. All right, let's go back to our 3D. Let's reset here. Okay, let's go back to kind of our home view. Again, you can use that home view down at the bottom. And then I'm also going to click on the 2D. Okay, we're going to go into 2D. And I'm just going to click on a general floor plan right here. Now, specifically, we're looking at the items, the stamps, that we've actually added to the floor plan based upon those stamps that we automatically created, right? What Revizto is doing right now is it's basing my filtered criteria on this floor plan based upon what we have set up for this filter, right? Let's reset our filters. Okay, now we get a bunch of other stamps. We get some other clash issues in here. But if I filter down, you see that we're just looking at those AWs here on the floor plan. So why is that important? Number one, it means that I'm not looking at things I don't need to see. I'm focusing on these windows. This is what I'm going out in the field to start to do that inspection process. Okay. So let's go ahead and just start on the left-hand side here. You can see when I click that particular stamp, it highlights it here in Revizto in the issue tracker, okay? And if I'm going out into the field right now and in doing that inspection process, I can take a look at those waterproofing details. I can make sure that it's been installed correctly and per the specifications. And then I can go through and say, yep, this has been solved. We are good to move forward, right? And move on to the next one. And I may be inspecting a certain part of that process, right? Or we may be inspecting just before they go to button up that the siding or the particular facade that's going on, right? So I can go through and continue that process. Now let's say when I click on that next one, I go to look at the inspection and we actually have an issue with the flashing detail, right? This is where I can say this is in progress. I can actually assign this to a specific person to go ahead and fix that, right? Now, if I'm out on the project, I'm going to click on our little paper clip right now, and I'm actually going to take a live photo. For the purposes of our training here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on our files and kind of simulate exactly what this looks like, right? I'm going to come in here and I'm actually going to select a photo that I've already created already. And you'll notice here that we have a little pencil that we can select. I'm going to click proceed. And here's the picture of that particular flashing. Now, if we have an issue within here, I can put an arrow around where that location of that is. We can highlight it. Now I hit done. I hit send. And now this is added to the actual markups for me to take a look at, right? And that's there for the life of the issue. Now, because I've put this in someone else's court, this gives them the notification that it's time for them to take a look at it. You know, I can add some detail in here and say corner waterproofing needs to be revisited. Okay, looks like I spelled that wrong, so let's fix that. Click send. Now this is in David's court to fix. I can also add a deadline. David needs to have this fixed by Thursday. Okay, and now we can start to track the deadline of that as well. Now, if this is a high priority item because we're coming around the corner with the actual facade, we can say this is a critical item. David, you have to get this done, and we need to have that fixed, right? And then I can keep going along. Go to the next window. Looks like this one was done correctly. Let's go ahead and click solved, and we can continue to move on. So whether you're using this in 2D or 3D, it's really up to you, right? And that's the beauty of Revizto. You know, if I come in here and we do a show all, I just right click and we do that show all, you know, I can jump from window to window in the issue tracker as well. And because I isolated this originally, that's why we're actually looking at these isolated. You can use appearance templates up here to change that, but it doesn't matter how you want to go about this, right? And that's the beauty, guys. If people are comfortable navigating in 2D, well, let's give them that ability to navigate in 2D, okay? If people are comfortable in 3D, they can go ahead and do that as well. For the inspection process, this becomes a pretty easy way to navigate a floor plan for those specific items, and this basically becomes my walking to-do list to do those inspections and close out those issues and make sure that they're done correctly. Now, what happens after we've gone through and inspected all these items, right? We've gone through, we've added photos to those, we've changed the status, we've assigned them to the right person who needs to fix those, and the ones that are okay, you know, obviously we don't have to track those. Well, there's a couple ways we can go about managing this. Our filters currently are set up for all window types, or windows of this type AW11. Now, once we've gone through and inspected those and I only want to look at certain statuses, well, I can come in here and filter by just my in progress, right? And now we're looking at those in progress ones. These are the ones that need to be fixed out by David, who has to go and fix these items. Again, this gets me to these items quickly and efficiently, so I'm not wasting time scrolling through these items in the issue tracker. We can use our reporting system, which we can get to by clicking on our reporting tool here in the upper right hand side. And we can utilize the same custom filters that we've used here in the Revizto app to generate reports, email them out to the specific individuals who are assigned to those issues and anyone else who needs to be aware of them, and get those reports sent out on a scheduled delivery, right? So we can send that out Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. David gets that report in his inbox. Right before he gets to the project, he can go ahead and start thinking about where he's going to be walking throughout the project, and then have that record of those items that he's actually gone and fixed throughout the project, right? Now, obviously, utilizing the filters here is the way to go to be directly into Revizto, right? We can make those live comments, we can make those changes, we can take the photographs as it relates to these specific items. Now, I hope you guys have been able to get some value in terms of seeing how we utilize the object tree, capitalizing on the properties and being able to use the properties to actually generate searches within Revizto, using the find objects, creating search sets directly in our project to then capitalize on finding those items, and then using the selection inspector to generate automatic stamps to create those items that we want to do the inspections. Thank you for joining me today. Again, it's great to have you guys for another one of our Revizto learning sessions. Please stay tuned for many, many more as we continue to come out with these each week for the rest of the year, and look forward to talking to all of you. Thank you.